right? Air, dopamine, serotonin releases, right? What does that mean? Well, it means that when you in a certain state, right? When you're in a certain state of mind, right, in which your brain tends to think negatively, and you tend to think that every noise that you hear tend to be something, I can say annoyance, right? It happens to me too. It happens to me too. But at the same time, guys, the one thing for sure though is that when you share work, when you share research, when you share AI, right, technology, those who doesn't know about AI technology tend to be the one that talks the most. That's because ignorance sometimes it's fueled by the social media feed, guys, and that's the you have to understand. It's like, look, I don't step on anybody's toe, but at the same time, if your ignorance and your own knowledge of how the operation of certain system work, you shouldn't be talking, right? You shouldn't be talking. That's because it affects the mood of those who actually trying to accomplish something for the people, right? I'm here live, YouTube, giving fitness tip, giving tips away, posted my research, right? Posted my research on all social media platforms for the people to hear, for the people to see, for the people to read about, because people don't know about Science Direct. People don't know how to read scientific paper. People don't know how to break down scientific methods, right? That's because people are not educated on how the operation of a scientific methodology works. That's the truth, right? But the truth of the matter is that that's the issue. The issue is that if it's not the hype, if it's not the trend, if it's not something that people like to see, like to hear about, they don't care. But at the same time, everyone is complaining about how algorithm is manipulating everything, but you don't even know how the algorithm works. And that's the reason why ignorance, guys, I'm here to vent, because ignorance cause a domino of effect. What does that mean of a domino of effect? A domino of effect means that one thing lead to another, lead to another. Just because you didn't start something does not mean that it did not trigger from that spot. Does that make sense? And that's the reason why I'm on the verge of just giving up of this whole process, is because I'm tired of ignorance, lead by ignorance, because no one is listening, because the ignorance is always going to be there. It's the ignorance that people refuse to see, refuse to understand, refuse to educate themselves. And that's the reason why, guys, I'm just at this point. It's like, why do I even care? Right? Like, why do I even care trying to spread the positive of the actual content, of the actual news, of how it works? I'm just like fed up on that aspect. It's like, why should I even care? Right? Why should I even care? Right? Why should I even try to spread the vibe in which the people know about? And that's the reason why I put my research on the public. It's for the people to understand, and that's the reason why I presented my research in the format that the people could understand. How many people can read a scientific paper? Not many could, right? But I presented my research in a way that people could understand, using satire, using philosophy, right, for the people to understand, because people have to understand how technology really operate. But I'm here not to step on toes, right? And that's the reason why, guys, it's very important to understand sometimes when you don't understand certain things, and voicing your opinion can influence the other person who's trying to do something for the people, right? And that is the issue, guys. You know what I mean? And that's the reason why I came to YouTube right now, man. It's to vent a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, to flex. Because check this out. I update my hammer, man. Check this out. Look at this. See that? I added an extra quarter pound. See that? I added an extra quarter pound. It's no longer 6.7. It's 7.2 pounds now. Check this out. Pretty good. Check this out. Boom. Look at that. Yeah? Guys, check this out. I feel a lot better with the 7.2 when I added the tip of the weight. The weight of the hammer feel more balanced. See that? It feel more fluid. It feel more, I don't know, it's like balanced, right? I think 7.2 for a 16-inch hammer, I think it works really well, because it's just the weight distribution wise, it just flow. So if you guys try it out, 7.2 hammer at the tip, I think it's great. Look at this. It feels more fluid, right? It feels more like an actual weapon. Try it out, guys. 7.2 pounds and see what happens on a 16-inch. It's pretty good. See that? Wow. But I added the tip though at the top. See that? I added that little extra spot. It made a big difference, right? For example, when I backswing, check this out. When I backswing, it made a huge difference. Just that quarter pound on the tip. Hey, what's up, Jeffrey? Hey, what's up, Becky? So I added. Is it actually? Yeah. So for example, right. So this is my 18 pounds, right? Yeah. And this is my 7 pounds. At the same time, this is my 10 pound, right? So I practice martial art in a way, because it gives you the full body workout. But I'm trying to find the weight distribution of how, right, when you warm up with the hammer, right, it works in a certain way. And the hammer, when you soar, right, and you stretch out your arm, right, it brings the blood flow more evenly, because the weight at the end of the tip require more control. So because it requires more control, it requires more of the negative tension. And because of that, you see how it's all flexing, right? The blood is evenly, but you can adjust it because the weight is at the tip. You can adjust it, which allows for the blood flow. You see that? So that means it alleviates the soreness a lot faster, but at the same time, it's being used in physical therapy to help treat those who are injured, right? And professional athletes also use that as well, right? Check it out. See that? You can adjust the range. So try it out. It really works. For example, if I were to go, right, heavier, right? Check it out. Right? And put the weight. You see now it's more tension, right? More tension, more blood flow, right? So I use this more to give that more control, because as a martial artist, right, if you don't have that control with the, you're just gonna, right? You're just gonna swing left and right. So having that control is very important in terms of, rehabilitation, in terms of getting the blood flow into the proper location, right? Because when you soar, right, the last thing you want to do is work on that soreness by lifting more weights, right? That's because you're not bringing the blood to the area that needs to be healed, instead of putting pressure on the blood and ripping it open. Does that make sense? But that, guys, I gotta head out. But hey, I'll be back in the morning, usually around like 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, and then in the evening for about like 10 minutes. Just give you guys a real tip of what it is that I actually do myself. As you can see, like I have my own setup, right? I'm a scientist, I'm a researcher, but at the same time, I do a lot of, I guess you say, therapeutic, musical cognitive therapy. At the same time, apply physiology to the music to see how it can trigger a certain release, a certain dopamine, in a way, build foundation of frame that can give you that foundation that, hey, when you are stressful, what is useful to you? But at the same time, is that when you're fatigued, right? When you're fatigued, what can stimulate that excitement? And dopamine is one of those things that I'm researching on. You can look at my abstracts I posted on social media. I chew gum a lot. That's because I actually do work, right? So I get tired, and the gum will produce saliva, allow me, to perform a lot easier when I do work out and show you guys how to lift weights, right? If not, then I'll be dehydrated, and I don't want to be drinking water left and right during, the demonstration, because it's giving me cramps, right? But on that, I'll see you guys next time. Adios. Hey, thank you. Hey, great question though.